Hey everybody, it's Id1356 again, coming at you relatively live with another RuneScape progress video. Here I am, slaying some black dragons for a slayer task, because there's no other reason to slay them unless you want a chance at a Visi, or you just want to make some cash, which is sort of what I'm doing by doing slayer, in addition to training my combat stats. My experience has gone up a bit over the past week. Hold on, let me just do a spec right here. I actually found the Karasi spec works fairly well against them, even though they have an extremely high magic defense bonus, you know, Black Dragon hide and all. Here's a quick look at the setup. I've got my full Slayer helmet, Amulet of Fury, Ardoon Cloak 3, which I wear for the prayer bonus, and a stab bonus, I believe, as well as what it provides. The Karasi sword, Anti-Dragon, Fire Shield, Ring of Wealth, Proselyte, Cure Ice, and all that. Boots, D-Boots, and Barrow's Gloves from Recipe for Disaster. And I've been slaying these. I think this is quite a few tasks I've had of them in a row. And that's really annoying because they're not that tough, but they're a very time-consuming task, at least for me, because I don't have super anti-fires, and because of that, I have to use the Karasi sword, and they provide pretty low amounts of Slayer experience, which I did level up. My new total level is 1939, which is a bit up from last week. Got 79 range, 88 strength, 87 constitution, and 69 summoning, and I don't think there are any... Oh, I also leveled up dungeoneering. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So I did do a bit of dungeoneering, and that was interesting. And I think that's it for level ups this week, but I did gain a bit of experience, up to 17 mil now on the counter, and going. So, right now I'm doing some Slayer, as I already said, probably for the umpteenth bazillionth time. And Slayer, it's been pretty fun recently, although I've got to say I've been having a lot of Black Dragon and Steel Dragon tasks. I have to check. I think I may have cancelled Iron Dragon tasks, because I used to use Lupalock at a really low level, and at a lower level, Iron Dragons are pretty tough, but Steel Dragons are even more annoying. And let me tell you, Iron Dragons PJ you like no other. It's really annoying. But yeah, I've been obviously looting Black Dragon hides, Dragon Bones. I've been actually saving all of my Dragon Bones for my tasks. I don't know if I'm going to use it to level up Prayer eventually, or just sell them once I have a lot of them. So I just started a Slayer tab over the last couple of tasks. And that was pretty interesting. A couple of days ago I got a mutated Bloodveil task, and of course I did not have access to the Mire Ditch dungeon, and I'm someone who, you know, if I get like a task like that and I don't have access to the best way to do it, I will absolutely get the best way to do it, even if it means doing a couple of quests. So over the past week back to stats. I got up to 290 quest points and completed in Aid of the Merc, the Legacy of Seer Gaze, and the Darkness of Hollowvale, and they were all pretty fun quests, I'm not gonna lie. I really, really enjoyed the story to them. It's one of the few vampire stories that I've actually enjoyed in a long time, you know, ever since the Twilight era kicked in. It was actually a really nice surprise. Although I'll tell you, if you go to Mire Ditch, it looks horrid because it uses the old graphics, and it actually gave me quite a bit of nostalgia because there's a cutscene in it where you see like the three of the main bad guys like talking or whatever, and they still have like the triangular and rectangular faces. Like the skin isn't smooth at all. It was just really funny to me. It warmed my heart up, reminded me to when I started playing RuneScape, and it was an interesting little treat for myself to see that in perspective, because now, you know, you look at even these dragons look significantly better, and I play on low detail. But yeah, it was just really funny. I will say that Legacy of Seer Gaze is now probably one of my favorite quests, if not my favorite. And ooh, adamant bar, but not worth picking up. It's one of my favorites because you unlock probably what I think is the coolest looking weapon in the game, which is the Flail of Ivandis, or Ivandis' Flail. It's a pretty weak weapon if you don't if you don't cremate 500 Firewatch corpses, and I did like 13 of them, and I was ready to give it a rest after doing the quest. But it just looks really cool, and actually cremating them has some bonuses. For those of you who don't know, there is a chance that you can get some of the god armor that you would normally get as a treasure trail reward. And I thought that was pretty neat. I remember when I started playing RuneScape, I saw that was an opportunity. I was like, wow, I can't wait to kill Firewatches, and here I am 4.5 years later, and I finally got around to doing it. So I'm getting a little bit closer to that quest cape, 27 quests away. I haven't done Gunner's Ground because I'm lazy. These are probably just going to be time consuming. I really want to do Blood Runs Deep, but I have not done the task system, the hard Fremnic task system, so that'll be something that I'll be working on in the next couple of months. And then Nomad's Requiem is actually my #1 priority right now because I really want the Soul Wars cape, or cloak, I don't know what it's actually called, because it has fantastic prayer bonuses, and all of my tasks recently require prayer. So, when I finally got around to doing my mutated Bloodveil tasks, or really it was just my Bloodveil task, it was actually probably one of the favorite tasks I've had, because I was able to train range, which I was doing earlier in the week, and I was doing it by iron kniving, what are they called, fire giants, and I don't know if you guys know, but it's not exactly the fastest. Ooh, a clue scroll. We'll do that later. It's not exactly what I would call the fastest way to train range, but it's pretty good. But it was nice to be able to attack the mutated Bloodvelds with the cannon, even though it's quite costly for someone like me who doesn't have a ton of money. It was certainly worth the experience, and it's actually probably one of my favorite tasks. And then not too long ago, I had a Dagannoth task, which I also love for the cannon ability, and I got a Torstal Seed, and that was even better because it helped pay for the cannonballs that I had to use for the trip. So, I've come up with some new goals for myself. I would like to get 85 Herblore so I could use Super Anti-Fires, and eventually 89 for extreme attack and strength. But that's far away because I think that'll cost me roughly 200 mil, and I don't have 200 mil lying around, if you can't tell, based on the gear and the stats that I have. But we'll see what comes with that. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit today, before the video expires, is minigames in RS. And when I started playing RS, the only minigame that I think was really popular at the time was Castle Wars. And I've played it a couple of times since I first played it, and it's still really fun. And the update that they did to it, I think about a year ago, was really awesome. The Halo rewards are just really worth it, in my opinion, for the prayer boost and the ability that they give. I believe it reduces prayer draining by quite a bit. So maybe I would hope to eventually get one of those. But recently I've been doing a little bit of Barbarian Assault with a couple of my newfound friends, and it's been awesome. I was really skeptical at first. You could ask any of them, and I was saying, you know, oh, I'm not going to be good at this, because I'm not the fastest clicker, so things that require intense clicking I'm not particularly good at. Although button mashing on the PS3 I can do quite efficiently. But in Barbarian Assault I was having just a lot of fun, and I'm now a rank 3 attacker, and I know that obviously isn't the best, and I'm working towards getting rank 5, and then rank 5 in the other roles, and then unlocking a fighter torso. I originally just wanted their help. Well, they were offering to play with me because they really enjoy it. They're in a Barbarian Assault clan themselves, and I really wanted to get the fighter torso because I can't afford tacits right now, and I would like the strength bonus for Slayer tasks and to not have to continuously repair my thorax, even though it has a pretty nice defense bonus. So instead of that, I really enjoyed the game, so I play about a round of it every night with them, and hopefully I'll be able to actually do a couple of rounds in a day with them so I can get a little bit faster ahead on this. But it's all up to them, and it's all about, you know, hanging with your friends or whatever. So I'm really grateful for having that opportunity. And then that kind of branches into what I said I was going to talk about in a little bit, which is dungeoneering. Now, I'm not one of those people who consider dungeoneering a full skill, because the grinding method is a lot different than any of the other skills that there are. So I think of it as sort of a mix of a skill and a minigame, which is kind of a cop-out answer, I think, but it's truly how I feel about it, and if you have a problem with it, well, that's not my bad. So, in the beginning of the week, I did a little bit of it with the same friends, and I really was not enjoying it because it was like, they were like really intense, because, you know, they want to get the best experience they can for the time, and I'm just not very fast, and whatever. But after having the Barbarian Assault experience with them, I'm really looking forward to going back to Dungeoneering and hopefully getting it up to the high 80s or low 90s for obviously a chaotic weapon, because the Karasi sword, while it is a good all-around sword, lunge, which is its only stab attack, is shared XP, which means that I'm slowly gaining XP in everything, which is probably why Constitution was able to level up faster than some of my other stats. But, wow, this is probably going to sound really bad. Regardless, I would love to be able to do Dungeoneering to unlock probably the Chaotic Rapier for the stab bonus, and it's very good for Slayer because it has pretty decent speed, and a lot of the times that's what these harder, I'm saying with air quotes, Slayer tasks are about, because you want to get them down in the most efficient way possible, because I'll tell you, even if you have a lot of money, unless you're seriously rich, like Win All Day, any fires and prayer potions and even super pots, they add up. So, you know, you want to do everything in the most efficient way possible, and you want to have the best gear, which is part of why I want to do Nomad's Requiem, but I won't do that until at least my attack and strength are to level 90. So I have a while to go before that. Although I could just train it at Armored Zombies, but I did that for a little bit and I was bored out of my mind. It's a game, you're supposed to have fun with it, right? So, Dungeoneering, hopefully I'll get back into that with my friends and work on getting a chaotic, and then I would really like to be able to get the farming scroll. I think it's called the Scroll of Life, and then the Scroll of Efficiency for smithing. In the next couple of weeks I'll probably be doing a bit of mining and smithing, because those are those are my two favorite skills when I started out RS, and I've sort of left them to the roadside. And there are a couple of methods for getting, maybe not 99, but at least 80 in both of them that I want to try out. So that'll be something to do. Also, going to hopefully be working towards getting 70 agility in the near future for the Taverley Dungeon, I guess sort of shortcut, because it's really annoying to have to run all the way around the dungeon just to get to Hellhounds. But yeah, going back to that idea that I was supposed to be talking about minigames, I think RuneScape does a fantastic job at providing a lot of different types of minigames for different skills and different play styles. I think a lot of them are combat-oriented, but there are definitely some that are more skiller-oriented. And, ooh, oh my goodness, a Dragon Dagger. I am thrilled. Seriously, this is awesome. I think I lost my last one recently. But they certainly do a good job at... Ooh, I'm full. They do a good job. JaGex does a great job at, you know, providing a wide variety of minigames. I can't remember what the farming one is, but there is one when you teleport the leprechauns. There's going to Puro, which isn't necessarily I don't know much about it. I'm not sure if it's a minigame or not, but it definitely qualifies as a distraction and diversion. So, you know, that's awesome, because hunting, I think it's a really awesome skill, but I got it to 69 in 3 days, and then I got really bored of catching red salamanders, so I moved on to something else, and that was about a year and a half ago, I think. Maybe 2 years ago. But yeah, that's what's up with me. I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying your RuneScaping. Again, not that I would ever force you guys to give me a like or dislike or a comment or a subscription, but if you want to, feel free to. I appreciate the feedback. And you have yourselves some fun RuneScape, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days with a new video. Alright, bye-bye.